go live. Come on in the room, everybody. Okay, Rachel, I just accepted your. There you go. Hey, girl. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Oh my God, I miss you so much.
We used to see each other at least like bi-monthly or something.
Jeez. Oh my gosh. Oh, now I feel like I have so much to say that has nothing to do with mindset and digital media marketing, but I'm going to try to incorporate it in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do the intro first. I have a few people in here, so that's exciting. Everybody in the chat, go ahead and drop where you're tuning in from and say what's up. This is totally just a conversation between two creative friends. So again, welcome to Tea Time with Lynn. This is a weekly series where I highlight my creative friends, what they do, and their thoughts on their journey, their purpose, how they self-care, maybe love and relationships, and anything else that comes to mind. So today, I have my good sis. Everybody's my good sis that comes in. This is my good bro that comes in on her in here. But my good sister friend, Rachael Turner of Rosemint Media, and I'm going to say Radiant Thorns. We have known each other for quite some time. And it's crazy, Rachael. I was thinking about this earlier today. I don't remember interacting with you in college, but I know your face. You know, like I know your face. I know you. Like I can picture both of us being in college together, but we didn't really become friends until after college. What, maybe about 5 or 6 years ago. And so I just think it's super awesome how like you can be in this collegiate space with someone and then really become friends and connected later. And so I am just excited that however we came to be, that we came to be. Yes. Happy Punchki Day. I hope I'm saying that right. I was listening to the news. Happy Fat Tuesday.
All right.
16th day of Black History Month.
Yes. Thank you, and happy all of those days to you too.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can't complain at all. I don't know. Actually, last thing I did right before I got on Instagram was listen to the news about what's happening in Texas, and I don't know, just really praying and hoping everybody is okay, you know. But yeah, it's been a normal winter day in Chicago. Right, and I remember my tea.
Yes, get it, sis. Tell us about your cup while you're showing it.
So No Goals Left Behind is what I want to call, how would I phrase that? Basically just like a motivational statement. I came up with one day for myself. I started using it as a hashtag on posts on Facebook and Instagram, and just kind of like stuck. And then other people started using it here and there, right? And so it's just something to remind myself and remind everybody, like all of your goals deserve your time, they deserve your attention, and they deserve to be sought after. So it's no goals left behind. We're not leaving any goals behind. And let me say hey to my sister. Oh, and my mom is on here too.
Oh, hey,
Mom. Hey, Sam.
Yes, I was gonna say I see your sister. Like I've never seen your sister in person, but I've heard so much about her. I've seen pictures, I've seen her artwork, and I know the name when I see it. So hi, sister.
The space.
Yes, we have the same.
People used to think we were twins. So, and I see Tasia joined. So Tasia, hey Tasia, she is just an amazing young woman. She has a brand and photography business. She will call her my mentee, but I feel like she's blossomed into like just such a powerhouse. So yeah, hey Tasia.
Which one? Who is Tasia? Is that Destin Visual?
Yeah, Destiny Visual.
Hey. Okay. So, okay, I have so much to say already. First, I want to say, hey, again, to everybody that's on the IG Live. I see my cousin Tommy is on here, and I remembered, I see that he reminded us that he's from Texas. So, Tommy,
Oh,
hope that you are coping with the weather. I know you shot town all day, so this is probably something that you can deal with. But I just wanted to shout out to the Texas peeps on the line. And so the other thing, I wanted to say something about your cup. I love that phrase. I'm so glad that you have it today because I forgot about it, and I need to be reminded of it. Like, one of the reasons why you're one of my favorite people, don't tell the others, no, is because I like to follow people that remind me and uplift me. Like, I'm always uplifting other people. And so, like, but there are a few people that I know for sure that they're going to make me feel as motivated as I may make other people feel. So I thank you for being that for me. The other thing about No Goals Left Behind is I'm sure you've seen it before, but I remember when you started using that hashtag, and I've modified it. Well, I've added to it, which is no goals, no dreams, no talents, no skills left behind. Because at the end of the day, these are all the things that come together for us to create and everything that we want to create. Like, we already have the skills, the talents, the tools, and the dreams. We just gotta keep on pushing on and getting it done. Okay, so yes, and the journals too. We gonna get to all the things. I hope. Well, okay, we're not gonna get to all the things because it's a lot. But the good part is you can come back, and I want you to come back.
great.
So, okay. While we're talking about like goals and dreams and mindset, I particularly want to start at mindset, but we're here to talk about mindset and digital marketing. So you being my lovely co-host of the day, where do you want to start?
I think let's start with mindset, because that mindset is the core of everything. Everything starts in your mind, regardless of what it is. You have to believe it first before you even get to a point where you're ready to market something. So start with mindset. That's key.
I love it. And I was thinking the same thing. And then also for all of you all that are joining, if you have any questions for Rachel or I, go ahead and hit that question symbol at the bottom of your IG Live and go ahead and tap it in. Feel free to engage with us and comment. And, I will be trying to check in. And I hope, Rachel, that you can also look and help me not miss any good comments. But we definitely want this to be a conversation, not just between the both of us, but between everybody watching. So, okay.
Hey, Dr. Barbie. That's, I know Dr. Barbara Johnson. She's a dentist in Georgia, who also has a luxury earring brand, Bella B Lux.
Nice.
Actually helped with her branding, and she just kind of took off and has been doing awesome things with her brand. But I've been knowing her since 4th grade.
Whoa!
It's a beautiful thing. And I posted about this not too long ago, though, and I know you're talking about mindset, but I love when it's like somebody I knew from when I was like super young, and now they're established, got their stuff together, starting a business, and like I'm helping them create the visuals and the structure for their business. I'm like, man, this is just incredible. So
I love that. Hello, Dr. Barbie. Okay, so mindset. Well, you already answered my first question. It was, what is mindset to you? And I totally agree. Like, it all starts with the mind. Like, are the visual things that we see, the words that we hear, the things that pop up at us, that is a part of our mindset, and that is a part of the foundation that gets us to creating all of the crazy, wild, fantastical, magical ideas that we have. So, okay. What I want to, so mindset. When did you first start to cultivate mindset, and what did that look like?
So when I first started, I didn't really know that's what I was doing, but I'm like literally a lifelong journaler. I started journaling, and I have my first journal from the age of 10, and I have like 2 totes full of journals. That's, you see, full circle, right? How that came to be. But I've always been a journaler. I've always been like a creative writer, like poetry and songs and things like that. So little did I know my journaling, and sometimes I'll go back and read things, and it's like, man, when I was 10, I really thought I was gonna be like a doctor and a lawyer and have 2 kids, married in New York at the age of 25. Okay. But like, you know, that journaling has been a huge piece of my life and just my mindset in general. Like even when I pray, like I have prayer time, I speak prayers out loud, but writing things down are just so much more powerful for me. So I actually like write prayers. I keep this on my desk, you know, just as a reminder and motivation. But this is my actual business journal that I write in. And even throughout the day, as I'm working on things in my business and things happen, I will actually pause to either like write down an idea or to refocus myself. Say it was just like I just spent like 3 hours, like just grinding it out, working. And then I'll take some time to pause and actually like, you know, refocus, get grounded, and just, you know, make sure mentally my mindset is where I need to be as I'm working on projects and continuing to work through my day. So, you know, the first time was a long time ago, but as I understood the power of it, I've gotten more intentional with it. It is so important also, like with the writing down part, for us to actually speak things too. Yeah. So just it's in our mind, and you know, just by default, in our mind means like, you know, a quiet place, but saying things out loud has so much power too. So
yes,
yeah.
I love that. So you started when you were 10. I journal, but I don't journal consistently. And I have been journaling more consistent since being laid off in July. And it really has helped me to process just my thoughts. Like, you know, being a creative, we have so many thoughts that are floating around in addition to like everyday thoughts of, you know, taking care of ourselves, appointments we have to make and things like that. But it's so easy to let that swarm, just that those thoughts just swirl around and feel kind of unclear. And so I love that when I journal, I can feel clarity. I can feel things lifting off of me, or it's even as magical as like calling a friend and venting. And so I think that's so wonderful about journaling. So I'm just curious, how do you feel? Like, let's talk to people that don't journal, don't care about journal. Like, what does it feel like to you when you journal?
It feels like getting back to myself. And sometimes I don't even know that I needed to journal and I needed to get back to myself, but it just feels like, you know, either it's like basically two main times when I'm journaling. Getting something out and just like, oh my gosh, I gotta write this down and all of these things and whatever. Or the reverse of that is like growing something where it's like an idea or something that I want to happen, or put in like positive affirmations. So usually it's one of those two situations, but a similar thing happens once I get to a point where I'm like, I'm writing out, okay, I've written enough. It's like, nothing really is that important anymore. That's what I really need to be focused on. It just brings me back to myself, brings me back to what's important, and helps me to like anything that's not that. It's a reminder, like it's really not that important. If it's not on a list of priorities, if it's not in the top 5, of course I'm a mom now. I know we first met, I wasn't a mom, but I'm a new mom, kind of. Like if it's not my daughter or, you know, something super urgent, like then it's really just not that important. And I beat myself up about it. I can't worry about it. If I don't get to it, sorry, I will try, but it's just, I can't stress myself out about it, you know?
Yeah, I love that. Let me ask you a question. Oh, I'm asking you a bunch of questions today, but when did you start to journal throughout the day? Like, when did you start to create that habit of, wait, let me stop and let me journal this? Because let me tell you something, if I'm working on a task and I have thoughts, I'm just gonna power through on the task. So how did that come to be, and how did you I don't know if like maybe when you started, maybe you got anxiety about it, because I would get anxiety to stop and write. But just talk about how that came to be.
So it came out of necessity. I was working in corporate at the time in a very, I don't want to say hostile environment, but maybe it was a hostile environment.
It was.
It was a lot that I was dealing with. I had a lot of stress on me. But you know, when you're at work, you can't just go off on people. You can't just like step away when it's stuff that has to be done. You got to work, right? So I started keeping a journal at my desk, and when I would feel myself getting angry with someone, or like feeling like things were unfair or whatever happened, I would write down what I really wanted to say in my journal. So basically,
I love that.
burn book.
Yeah.
For the workspace. But over time I realized, okay, it made me feel better in a moment, but then something shifted, and instead of writing down like everything I ever wanted to say, like curse words and your mama and all, I started writing a prayer, or I would write something positive, and I kind of came up with this term. I call it combat journaling. So it's like, basically, I know I'm upset,
Yes.
but I know writing down the negative stuff is not going to do anything good for me. So I'm going to combat journal, where whatever I'm feeling, I'm either going to write a prayer or write an affirmation or something that's a total opposite of what I'm feeling, to fight that. Nice. So that's when I started the habit of journaling throughout the day. And I don't do it all the time, but I just know I keep a journal next to me, so that way when I'm feeling like that, like the option is close by. So.
Yeah. I love that. That's prayer warrior talk right there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. How to shift and transform your mindset. Something I didn't even think about as a question, but this is also what I want to know. Okay, well, I guess you answered it for the most part. Mm-hmm. But I think there's maybe a misconception that when you have this certain mindset, whether it be like the millionaire mindset, the entrepreneurial mindset, whatever that mindset, abundance mindset, that's the thing that's always happening. But as you know, we're human, mm-hmm. and we can't always feel like 100%. We're not designed to always feel 100%. Our lows are just as important as our highs. But how do you what do you do when you just don't feel like it on a particular day or a moment? Like, what do you do to keep going?
So most days I don't have an option to stop. So I'm a full-time entrepreneur. I started my business in 2013, but went full-time in 2017. So basically it's like, if I don't work, then I'm poor. So actually as I'm saying that, like it's finally clicked, and I'm working on building a team and making it so that I don't have to be so available, because now after working that hard for so long and not having an option to stop, I understand like it's okay to take a step back to build a team so that I can move forward and have my time back. But anyway, if time allows, I like to take a nap. And it's like a reset. You go to sleep, you wake up, it's like, oh, a new day. Like, so if I can, I take a nap. But on the days when I just can't, mm-hmm. really stopping to pause and pray is powerful. And stopping to pause and journal, and really the same thing always happens. It's always the realization of what's the worst that could happen. Even if the worst possible scenario happened and I'm upset or whatever I'm dealing with is just not a good situation, it's still not the end of the world. And not to, trivialize relationships or make people insignificant, but any person that is removed from your life, like, you may miss them or something may happen, but they're still just a person.
Right.
And it just brings me back to that space of like, nothing is really more important. Our purpose here is way higher than any frustrated day or any angry moment. So just really prayer above anything else does that for me.
Awesome. I love that. As you were talking, I thought about this course I took last year. It's crazy that it's been a year already, called The Science of Well-Being. And it's on Coursera, and it's a Yale course. The professor's name is Dr. Laura Santos. I highly recommend it for anybody that is watching, but it pretty much talks about different things about mental wellness and gratitude, and what you said about when you're dealing with something, you just think about, okay, what's the worst that can happen? And so one of the tools they said was to write out the worst scenario, like, okay, what's the worst that can happen? And if this happens, what are my steps? And what's the best that can happen? And if that happens, what are my steps? And as you do that thought processing, you really start to realize that everything is okay, and you got a plan for either way, and the worst isn't that bad. So yeah, that's super awesome. Oh, I want us to circle back. Well, first, I want to say what's up to everybody on the IG Live that are just now tuning in.
Yeah.
Again, I'm here with my lovely co-host, sister girlfriend, Rachael Turner. If you have any questions for her or you can go ahead and hit the questions. If there's anything that we talk about that resonates with you, go ahead and add it to the comments. We're totally here, and we want to engage with you. We're here to have a good time, and we're talking about mindset and digital marketing. So just maybe one or two more questions about mindset, and then we're gonna move on over to digital marketing. I wanted you, Rachael, to go ahead and take this time to promote your journals, because we were talking about journals.
So, from like earlier, I don't know, if everybody caught the story of me journaling, but I've been journaling since I was 10 years old. And from going through just things in life, learning how to do things in my business, I'm able to do graphic design. I'm really good with putting structure to things, and things kind of connected and came together. And I realized I was able to create journals. So I started creating my own journals. My goal with them, so the brand is called Radiant Thorns, and on Instagram it's Radiant Thorns. You can like the page, follow the page, please, if you like what I'm saying. But Radiant Thorns, basically, like, the goal of the brand is to bring one, fashion and style to journals. And I know that might sound a little weird, but what I noticed was when I was shopping for journals, like, they all kind of started looking the same. There was a certain aesthetic that I was hoping to find, but I just never saw it. So I decided to, bring that into the designs. And then the other part of Radiant Thorns is just, radiant. Think about radiating. Radiators work from the inside out. So same thing with journaling, like when you're writing and you're letting go of your feelings, or you're planting seeds for the future, it's all starting within and then coming out. Same thing how we would talk about mindset, it all goes together. But while you're writing your journals, it can be cute.
I have that.
It could be marble with, a positive motivational message on it. I'm like, which other ones do I have nearby? I actually have one I created a while ago. It's actually not in production, but this one is
that's what I was looking for.
A piece of art.
Yes.
And I put it on a cover. This is actually do I have it? Yeah, see, it says art. I have so many journals. To organize my thoughts too when I have journals for a specific purpose. So when I have like art ideas, or if I want to sketch something out, that goes in here. And actually, so y'all know I'm not lying. No. I like to charge my journals. I don't know if that's the right term to use, but I have these positive affirmations in here, and I started doing that. I don't know when I started, but now every time I start a planner or a journal and I know it has a certain purpose, I do that. Even now, like, this is my planner that I use. Just a tip, I write down anytime I make money in my business, I write it down, no matter the amount, no matter what it's for, and just have a mini celebration moment to celebrate money and have a gratitude moment for money. So that's what I use my planner for. But anyway, I have these affirmations that I wrote that I take to the inside cover just as a reminder. And on the days when I actually flip it open and see it, I make myself stop and say it out loud.
Yeah, I love it. That is a good idea. Sometime last year, I was writing down my wins but I was using a Google Calendar, just because I'm like, I don't know which journal to put it
Oh,
on, but I never thought of just having like one journal for it, because
mhm.
eventually I stopped writing down the wins, and like, I guess maybe the middle of March, when COVID was really going ham on us. But yeah, I love that. I'm gonna give that to writing out my wins, because it's easy to forget, isn't it? Like, it's a new season, it's a new version of us, and then a new version of us forgets the old versions. So it's nice to have those celebratory moments at your fingertips. No pun intended. Hey to those that are joining. If
Hey.
you have a question, or just a comment, go ahead and put your question in the question section at the bottom of your screen and write your comments. Right now, we're talking about mindset. Dang, I have one more question that I wanted to ask you about mindset. Well, maybe just a quick recap. What I love that you said was, when you were talking about radiating from the inside out, I was just about to say, like your mindset, and then you said like the mindset. So the things that we're talking about with mindset are affirmations, positive words, dreams, goals, and those dreams and goals and affirmations, written and spoken, are the seeds to what we're working on, our purpose and our dreams. So I think I covered everything about mindset, right? Well, everything that we talked about so far.
But you can go on the Instagram live.
You said what?
Deep as you can go on the Instagram live.
True. Before we transition to digital marketing, Rachel, do you have like a last minute like tip or word of advice, or just a last minute thought that you wanted to share?
Just a last minute thought. If something causes conflict within you, or every time you like think about speaking with a certain person, dealing with a certain project, doing a certain thing, it just causes you tension, or you feeling a way, don't ignore it. Something I can't remember where I watched it or saw it recently, but basically, like, that is our intuition, our spirit man, some people call it that. That thing that we don't quite understand or comprehend, that's working for us all of the time.
Yes.
Letting us know, like, you might want to fall back a little bit, you might want to slow down a little bit, you might not want to up your commitment level on this right at this moment. And it's not that is a good or bad thing, or a good or a bad person. It could be timing, it could be so many things that you won't even get revelation on until like years down the road. But don't ignore that, and it is totally okay to step away, to pause. I think we've been programmed to override those thoughts all the time, and they're there for a reason, to help us.
Yeah. I love that. That is so perfect. Like, how I'm feeling like in this past couple months, like I almost want to have like a little baby tear, because man, that was important and valuable to me. So thank you for sharing. I'm so glad that I asked you that.
Yeah.
Hey Tondalea, hey Wakila, and hey Million, and hey Ray. Okay, girl, we got a whole bunch of people joining us today. Exciting. Okay, the other stuff, the other good stuff, digital marketing. Tell us, like as if nobody understands what digital marketing is. What is digital marketing?
So digital marketing is it's the amp to your brand. So you can't really have marketing without a message. You can't have marketing without a product. So the things that we spend time on developing, the things that we know we want to make money off of, that's the production piece to it. Marketing is letting people know it's available, letting people know how they can get to it. It basically is communication of the thing that you are trying to either sell or educate people about. Because sometimes it's not always about someone making a purchase. You want to get information out, or you want to plant a seed for an idea. It's a communication. Like, in a nutshell, marketing is communication.
Okay. I love that. Yeah. So where now, digital marketing is nowhere near my expertise, and in previous conversations, like, this is the thing that I like to kind of shy away from. It confuses the mess out of me. it makes me feel so inadequate. And especially with like the shifts and the trends that happen like so often and so quickly, and
Mm-hmm.
even the fact that we are at the mercy of whatever that platform is that we're using. And if they
Mm-hmm.
decide that the thing that they created 2 weeks ago doesn't work, or they want to add to it or update, then they're going to change it, and we have no say about it. And
Right.
that's scary and frustrating. So I guess what I want to know is like, how do you create stability in that? Like, yes, amplifying it is amplifying your message, but with all the other variables that we can't control, like how do we stay secure and stable? And yeah.
So the like what I want to say, the practical answer to that is to focus on the things that you have more control over. So email. In addition to getting people to follow your social media, if you're leading them to give you their email address, the term for that is having a lead magnet, where on your social media you're telling people, okay, if you click this link and give me your email, I will give you this. Or
Yeah.
if this link and give me your email, this is what you can expect. That's your lead magnet. So you want to lead them to a place where you actually have more control over the information or the data that they're giving to you, and you can use it in the future. So email, of course, is the biggest way to do that. People are moving more towards texting now. So asking people for their cell phone numbers, that way you can actually send out text messages, is the more popular way to do that now. But email is still a staple because that's just been around and is more acceptable at this moment. But again, depending on your audience,
Yeah.
and what you're promoting, texting could be a better option. Now, the flip side to that, that maybe is a little bit more abstract of an answer, but if you really work on your brand and work on your messaging and just are very intentional and strategic with how you present yourself, you're providing value to your followers, they're going to follow you wherever you go.
Mm-hmm.
So like, think about it, if it was your artist, your favorite artist, right? You know, your and having a concert,
Lynn, sorry.
right? They're having a concert. So maybe they come to Chicago, right? So you're gonna go to the concert, right? But
Yeah.
say the next year they don't go there, your city isn't on the list. Then you're like, okay, what's the closest city? How I'm finding what I'm. So it's the same thing. If you build a solid brand, you have a quality product. The people who really love what you have and have bought into your brand and are invested in your brand are going to find you, or whatever is available, however you present it to them, they're going to make a way to purchase it. So that comes with putting work into your actual branding
Yeah.
and experience of the people who are consuming what you have.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, let's say you have a solid message that you've been working on for years. But I got a couple questions actually. See, two questions are happening at the same time. I'm like, oh, and
Don't
then okay, so let's say you have a solid brand, you have a solid message, but these algorithms, child, are out here like hating, like straight hating. And what I've noticed in the past 2 months is that Facebook is like so good at saying, oh, they put in some sales message in here, let's
mm,
hide it. And then and even if it's like basically I've tried all these different ways to maneuver this algorithm, and it just feels I feel defeated. Like I feel like, well, damn, like I know that I have an email list, but I feel like there's a significant amount of people that aren't getting the emails because Google puts the emails in the promotion tab,
mhm.
or they may put it in the spam tab. And so I know that people are always scrolling, but if the algorithms are hiding the message, how, like, what do we do? Like, what do we do?
So one thing you can do that'll help with that is just to remind people, like, if it's an email list, at the moment when they sign up, add me to your contacts. so that you will get my emails. Just remind people to do that. Of course, you can't control, if they're actually going to do it, but send that reminder. If they really want to get your email, they need to be making sure that you're in you're their contact list.
Okay.
What else you can do? So with Facebook, is just so pay to play. I really gotten into Facebook ads like over the past year, and if you're not spending money on ads, Facebook is just like, nope, we ain't got nothing for you when it comes to business. So the key to that, you want to treat your personal page, treat it more like a personal page. Like people do, it's good to share some things from your business page, because you don't know who on your personal page, they might see that post that day and go from your business page. But do more storytelling. Facebook is made for storytelling. Facebook, people want to feel like they're really your friend, because your friends are on your Facebook personal page. So do more storytelling. Do what I like to call bringing people along for the journey. Don't necessarily say, hey, my album is coming out next. Sorry, I got to use.
Yes, it's fine, girl. I need the help. Like,
hey, my album is coming out in a month.
Yeah.
Say, oh, I went to the studio today and it was so great. I'm preparing for this. Like, just, you're still saying it without saying it. Because once you have the call to action of what you want people to do, then that's when it kind of becomes more marketing / advertising versus you sharing your story. And then when a day comes and you do want them to buy it, you already got them ready to buy it because they feel like they're your bestie and they've been on a journey with you. So really treat it like, treat Facebook personal page like a personal page. Share the business things occasionally, but tell a story. And then that also gets around all of those shadow ban words that are on Facebook. That's what it's called, shadow ban.
Okay.
With Instagram, yes, the algorithm has changed, but reels are where it's at. I know it's so corny. With reels, because anytime a social media platform comes out like with a new feature, they want everyone to use the new feature. So they're going to make it so you get benefits from using the new feature. So if you use reels, I don't know if you've have you posted a reel yet?
I have. I tried, girl. I need some help.
You gotta
have a strategy meeting after this, because I need help.
But just keep doing them. I would say do at least like 1 or 2 reels a week. You don't want to do every post a reel. Some people actually do that now.
Yeah, I saw that.
Just working to grow their accounts. If you're feeling it, go for it. Yeah. But use reels on Instagram because you reach so many new people.
Okay.
And Instagram wants you to use reels.
Okay.
So that there's tons of hacks you can do to get around the algorithm. You want to use hashtags. You want to engage. Engagement is big. Anytime you do a post, take 10 minutes before. Engage with people that aren't following you yet, but might be interested in your content. So what I do, say like for example, if it was you, someone who has like similar genre of music, but has maybe like I said like 50,000 followers. Go to their most recent post. Anybody who liked or commented on their post, click on their page if it's public and go and like some posts or leave a genuine comment on a post. And that's going to bring them back to your page. So when you make your post, you got all of these people with fresh notifications from you ready to go and see your post and comment on your post.
Now, do you recommend also following them or just going and liking? And because I know if you follow, then I don't know if that's still a thing too. More followers than
you can do well. So numbers, it does matter. People care like, okay, if you have 900 followers but you're following 2,000 people, they're like, well, why should I follow you? Like it's like Twitter, right? So it does matter, but at the same time, like I don't necessarily want to encourage it or discourage it, but following and unfollowing works. Like following a bunch of people, there are apps that will show you who did not follow you back and unfollow who didn't follow you back. If your goal is to grow an account, and it depends on your goals, what is your actual specific strategy that you're focusing on for your account, then it does work. But in regards to actually getting people who are going to pay and people who are really going to stick around for your brand, I wouldn't recommend doing that. that's when you just want to have that actual engagement.
Yeah.
Maybe you having a conversation in the DMs, you giving a compliment.
Yeah.
Genuine to connect with that person. It doesn't have to have anything to do with business.
Okay.
It doesn't have even anything to do with music. But
Yeah.
maybe hair done that day and they feeling fly. So you're gonna say, girl, your hair, yes, honey. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
The goal is to be genuine.
Okay. I love that. We'll definitely have to do a little strategy
Yeah.
meeting. Because the last time we talked was like June. So
Yeah.
I've incorporated some things. This is one of the ideas. Just a series to talk about something that's connected to my brand. So thank you for that. This is only week 2, but I'm
cool.
excited to see what happens in the weeks in the upcoming weeks. One thing I want to say about just digital marketing in general, like, is digital marketing, is it only for people that have have a business, are artists, are influencer, are creatives, or like if somebody's on here watching and they just like, I just on social media, you know, like, is digital marketing for them?
I would say my quick answer is no. Because even though I am, digital marketing, that's what I do.
Yes.
I think as human beings, we still need creative outlets. We
Yes.
connections to other human beings. And
Yes.
social media is how you do that. You don't have to feel pressure to have a brand and be working on your business and doing, like, if that's not for you, or maybe in the future that's something you want to do, like, don't feel pressure. We still have to live today. We still have to, keep our mental health together. You don't necessarily feel that pressure that you're always doing it for a reason. Now, are an entrepreneur, you automatic, or influencer, musician, artist, you automatically have to understand that you have a whole different level of responsibility with your accounts.
Yes.
People are looking at you in a different way. On my business account, like, I won't say I have a huge filter on myself, but like, there are some things I would just never post on media. I'm never going to do the busted challenge.
Me either, girl. What we busting, Auntie Lynn?
Now, now, but some people, like, that might be a release, or some people flipped it and like did a joke with it or something like that. But for me, as an entrepreneur and for my personal brand, it's just not aligned for me, or even just as a person, it's not something I would want to do for myself. But with that said, like, my answer is no. Like, you shouldn't feel pressured. If you're just on social media to be social, that's totally fine. But there is power in being intentional with your post. If you know you're I don't have the knees,
that's my
then please don't do it. Don't want no
I don't have the knees either.
But so say if you know, like, okay, you have 5,000 people following you and you're just being social. But like, if you say, hey, I went to go try this ice cream, I went to Killwins, I know you like Killwins. People will go there and buy it.
Yes.
Recognize that is an opportunity for you. If you know your voice matters and things you post matters, one, you're going to automatically attract different companies that are going to be in the DMs talking about, hey, would you like to be a brand ambassador? But at the same time, that could be an additional income stream for you. If you know you have that type of influence, and you have to be intentional, tagging certain brands, talk about them, make sure that you tagging the brand and even messaging them, and you can pitch yourself to these brands. That's totally a thing to do now, is to actually tell them, like, hey, every time I post, I have 300 people who responded, or 30 people who responded and said they bought it. Do you have a code? Can you offer me a code? Or do you have some type of brand ambassador or influencer arrangement where people use my code, I get a cut? Can you send me, do you have a program where you send clothing, whatever it might be, because that's still marketing,
I love that. And that's what I was going to ask you is, like, how do you transition over that? Because, like, of course, I post my favorite bakeries and my favorite places, and I'm definitely looking to transition to a space where I'm saying, hey, use my code and go hop on over to Kilwins or whatever. So, you know, to help me do that. So yeah, so I didn't know that I could just like DM them like, hey, what's up? This is what I want to create. I didn't think that far, but that is very useful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me see if I have any more questions. Okay. So, but while we're here, at this pause point, I want to say what's up to the new people that have joined.
Hey.
Lynn Solar. My lovely creative co-host is Rachael Turner of Rosemint Media and Radiant Thorns. Right now we're talking about digital marketing. So if you have any questions about digital marketing, Rachael is definitely here. I didn't put my name this time, but Rachael is here to answer those questions for you, whether you're just starting out or maybe you've been trying to figure out this social media digital marketing game on your own. Like, if you have any questions, go ahead and let us know. And until then, I'm just gonna keep asking questions that I have for myself. Okay.
Ask away.
Rachael, if anybody wants to reach out to you privately, how can they get in contact with you?
So my email is Rachael, Rachael at rosemintmedia.com. That's 2 A's. You can reach out on my social media, but I'm probably going to respond and say email me, just because things can get lost on social media. So you can definitely feel free to email me. Both of my websites have contact pages. You know, if you happen to be browsing around radiantthorns.com or rosemintmedia.com, you know, there's our ways you can contact. The contact information is visible on there. Yeah, that's the best way. Really, just message me. I love email. So if you email me, I would be able to get back to you. If I happen to see your message, you know, I will respond to that too, but sometimes they get lost. You know, that's just the way it works.
Yes. Awesome. Carmen, can you do me a favor and can you please type in Rachael's email address? Rachael, can you go ahead and say that again?
I'm sure it's Rachael, Rachael at rosemintmedia.com.
Okay, thank you. And I hope you all got that. But you can watch the replay. Okay. Is there anything else that you want to share about digital marketing?
With digital marketing, the biggest thing is to have a strategy, and you want to work your strategy. A lot of times I see where people will start posting or they have a plan and they're all excited, and because you don't get 1,000 followers in a week, then it's like, oh, this didn't work. This is trash. I hate Instagram. Like,
that's me.
You have to be consistent. And I mean, it's all about a strategy, just how we were saying before. If your strategy is solely to get the numbers up, which I don't really recommend, but if that's your strategy, then you have to stick with it and do the things that are going to get your numbers up. If your goal is to, you know, actually build a following, thank you so much. Oh, it's Rachael. Oh, and Rosemint with an I.
Oh, Carmen, thank you though. Like, let me. Rachel.
Thank you for effort.
Yes, I did put you on the spot. You probably wasn't even ready for that. So Carmen was my co-host last week.
Oh, cool.
Let me see. I did that right? Okay. Carmen was my co-host last week, so that's why I put her on the spot. And also, everybody that's watching, Carmen Jones will be with me every second Tuesday of the month. So if you missed us last Tuesday, you can watch the replay from my page, and then also you can check us out again on every second Tuesday, and I'll be back weekly. So so yeah, people, if anybody wants to reach out to Rachael for to purchase journals, to purchase wonderful mugs, and to get advice and consulting about digital marketing, Rachael is the one to do so. So reach out to her. I totally vouch for her. I don't vouch for everybody, but I vouch for my good people. So let's see. Anything else?
You know what? I don't know why. Normally I wouldn't do this, but for some reason I feel like I should say this, and I need to get more in the habit of saying this.
Okay.
But talk a little bit about digital marketing. But just to show like the results of what you can get, like A few of my clients are definitely like in $1 million territory from being consistent, from starting a business, sticking with it, trusting the vision, and then, working the plan.
Yeah.
E-commerce is huge. But again, you just have to be consistent. You just have to stick with it, and keep working the plan. With my business specifically, I'm not a huge person to talk about like numbers and, oh, this is how much I made and things like that. Just don't feel pressure from the internet to do things. Just how I was saying before, we were talking about mindset. If it's something and you're like, you're interacting with a person or you're working on a project and you just get these feelings, not like fear, because that's totally different, but just something that's telling you like, this might not be it. Don't for that. Same thing, just tying it back, like I don't talk about numbers so much, but success doesn't have to look how the internet tells you it looks, or you don't have to announce stuff how the internet tells you to announce things. Heatwave has a question. Is it wise to add hints of your personal life when promoting your brand? It depends. So if you are a consultant, or it's a service, or something where people need to like you as a person to work with you, or it's something where there's an emotional connection, do that. You definitely have to do that, because you have to build the know, like, and trust factor. But say if you're selling a product, like think about products that you use, like now it's kind of a new day where people are, we're paying more attention to Black-owned businesses, and a lot of time our businesses are smaller, so you have to know the owner, because usually we're the only one that's working in the business making the stuff.
Right.
But about like certain products, it's more important to be consistent with your brand voice and have a quality product than it is to talk about yourself or what's going on in your personal life. Once somebody knows you have a quality product and it works, I'm going to buy it because it works. But for the same reason, you might buy something because you like somebody. So again, it comes back to having a strategy and just knowing, okay, who is your audience? Is your audience going to care about your personal life? Are there ways you can strategically weave in some personal things where it makes sense? Then do that. But if not, and your goal for your business is to have that separation, some people don't want to be the face of their business, and you can totally do that. You don't have to always be the spokesperson. I do encourage, depending on the brand again, because I don't want to say like don't be the spokesperson, but it just really depends on your brand, what your strategy is, and what your goals are. Let's first decide, do you want to be that person? You might have to hire somebody to be the face. So your needs to connect with someone, then who is somebody that loves the product and can do the talking for you. A lot of times, but that's what ends up happening anyway. People want to see reviews. They want to see other people who are using it and photos of that, or other people have used the service. That carries a lot more weight than me saying, oh, my lotion is great. No, I got 10 other people saying it's great. You're going to care about that more than me saying my lotion is great.
Yep. I see Lana from Variations Hair Studio. That's my hairstylist, y'all. I get my hair did on Thursday. I'm so excited. But she's talking about she said that could be a thin line, talking about storytelling. So well, I think Lana, I think you do a really good job at like your promotions. Like Lana does like these like hair, like she does like quick hair videos where it's like of course the before and the afters. Sometimes she does a time-lapse video, and then sometimes she lets us see her beautiful face and her beautiful style, because Lana is always sharp, okay, and that's a part of her brand, and it's so cool. Like I know that when I go see Lana, I'm gonna feel good because she looks good, and she's gonna make me look good. And so one thing that you talked about, so anybody joining, if you have any questions about anything that we're talking about digital marketing, because we have quite a few entrepreneurs and creatives on here, go ahead and drop that in the questions section or in the comment. But what was I gonna say? Ooh, see, that's what happens. Like I always have 14 thoughts happening at the same time. Rachel, I want to know. Oh, right, length of time. Okay, you talked about having a plan, working the plan, and being consistent. But when do you stop working the plan? Like, when do you shift? When do you pivot? When do you say, this might not be working? Like, what's the length of time that you recommend giving something the patience and the cultivation before moving on to a different idea if that isn't working for you or if it's not achieving the results that you're looking for?
So depending on what it is, I would say 30 days to 3 months. Think about when you try like new medication or like a new vitamin or something like that. They always say, 30-day money back guarantee. Why? Because you want to give it enough time to really see some results. Maybe it takes some time in the beginning to get some traction, to get people to really understand like, oh, this is a thing that's really happening. It's not like a one-time thing she posted for a week and then, switching on to something else. So you definitely want to give it at least 30 days to 3 months, depending on what it is. What's going to help you decide what to do is your analytics. So like on Instagram, there's a button that says Insights. Insights will tell you what was the top post, how many people liked it, how people interacted with it. It gives you statistics on locations of your audience. Same thing, Facebook has a whole analytics dashboard that will give you all types of information on your posts. LinkedIn, like all of the social media platforms has somewhere where you can check and see, okay, how did this particular post do? And then it will show you over time how your account is doing overall. So you want to give it at least 30 days to 3 depending on what it is. But more important, check your analytics. You have to look at the numbers. You don't want to just guess or wing it in regards to your success level. You might be surprised and see like, oh, this really is doing great. And you see the little lines like going up like this. Yep. So definitely check your analytics.
Okay, so let's say you're somebody like me and I do a varied post because I'm just varied a person. But let's say what I'm hearing is you're talking about strategy, and you're talking about being consistent and giving it 30 days to 3 months. So, and the reason why I got to strategy is I was thinking, well, what if I do one post that's like a storytelling post about mindset, for example, but I don't do another post about that until the next month. Like, that isn't necessarily the best strategy for testing out, does the mindset post work? So maybe if I'm trying to test out my storytelling in the area of mindset, then I need to strategize 3 or 4 or maybe 3 to 5 posts about mindset and strategically place that in that maybe a 30-day length of time. Like, what would you recommend? Like, what type of strategy, I guess, example strategy?
Yeah. So first thing you want to do is figure out what are your content pillars. So a content pillar, say if it's mindset, so that's one topic or pillar, that type of content you'll be posting. What would be another example of a pillar? Going out to eat. You're going to do going out to eat posts and food suggestion posts. Yep. Maybe you might do hair posts. So that's another content pillar, hair. And then maybe one more would be behind the scenes on your journey as an artist.
Yes.
Once you have, say, maybe 3 to 5 max pillars defined, you want every post should fall within one of those pillars. Okay. The reasoning is because you don't want to have, if you're really trying to be strategic, grow your account, you got a whole reason why you're posting. You want to make sure that you are intentional and you're not doing so much that your audience is confused. So you want to have something familiar. I know if I go to Lynn's page, I'm either going to get mindset, I'm going to get food, I'm going to or hair. I know. And then for you, you don't have to be so like blatant where you're using a hashtag like mindset Monday, even though that would be a good tag to use. Yeah. Your mind, like every Monday I'm going to post about mindset. Every Tuesday that's when I'm going to do my food post. Wednesday this, and then it helps you to create the structure so you can be consistent. Yeah. So more important than even having your audience know what to expect. You need to know what to expect and what you need to be creating for your account. So when you have those opportunities to capture content or just, have some stuff ready in your phone, you already got it, because you always going to need one of those types of posts to be ready to post to your account.
Yes.
So that's
that. And did you say 3 to 5 pillars?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
Any more than that, it's just going to be too many things happening.
Okay. Cool. This is so valuable, Rachel. Like, I literally have a list of notes where I'm like, oh, I gotta write this down, because when I schedule my show meeting with you, I need to talk about these things. But yeah, this was so valuable. I know that there is so much more that you can talk about with digital marketing, and mindset. And I want to hear more about like your journey in general, because I think that journey for creatives, especially because we're not famous, so like our journey, I think, is really important. So I would love for you to come back and talk to us about journey and some more digital marketing and some more art. I want you to talk about your artwork behind you.
Oh, okay. So earlier I mentioned I started my business. Well, I filed for my business February 13th, 2013. June 17th.
That's one of my dates.
Oh, June 17th, 2017 is the day I officially became a full-time entrepreneur. Something happened that day and I got the urge to paint. I'm not like I wouldn't call myself like a painter. I'm an artist, creative, meaning like I used to rap and write and do all the stuff. So I've always been creative. But that day when I went full time, I got home and I was like, I need to paint some stuff. And thankfully, my sister is a dope artist, S-Roll Chicago. Got to plug the fam.
Hey, shout out, fam.
She kind of helped me out, had some canvas, and I just started painting and I couldn't stop. I was just feeling so creative and feeling so just inspired. It kind of makes sense now, and I didn't know then, but like my focus now is like brand identity, brand designs, brand visuals.
Yes.
About Mia Colors got a relationship. Like so that's how the painting happened. That year, like that summer, I was featured at Connect Gallery.
Yeah.
And then a few other events, and things just were like happening. I haven't been putting as much time into it lately as I was before. I'm actually getting back into it now, just working on creating more time freedom for myself. But the ones you see behind me were all done by me and at different times. So like these are from my first collection, and these actually represent our ancestors. This one is called Rebirth.
Okay.
And like our ancestors watching us go off and be great into the world. This one is like called Tide, which I did 2 years later, under the ocean type scene. I'm trying to think, that one also, these three were all done around the same time. This one here, I don't know if you see.
Yeah, I see part of it.
Life and Love.
Ooh.
Are actually Arabic words.
Oh,
now,
okay.
no, just a teensy bit of Arabic. But when I was painting these, and I wanted to mention, I felt so much power when I was just, studying the lines and all of that. So just something happened when I became a full-time entrepreneur. It like released something creative with colors and just design and placements. And now, it's full circle. That's what I'm doing, brand designs and marketing, which kind of go hand in hand. So
I love that. Thank you for sharing all of your wonderful creative things. You reminded me of a question that I wanted to ask you early on. Now, you have branding, and you have the artwork, and you have the products, the journals, and the mugs. How do you manage it all? Like, is your day or is your week free flowing, or is it planned out in chunks? Like, what is this time management thing looking like for you to manage all these things?
Well, first, let me say, hey, Chuck, Lexicon, the brand.
Yes, hey, everybody.
Together. He has a very amazing t-shirt and apparel line.
Yes.
Back down what God stood up. It's a very strong, positive message. So check him out. Dr. Barbie, I talked about her earlier, but she actually was the first person who remembered my first poem. Did I say it right? She remembers the first poem I ever wrote, and I think that's just so special.
That is.
She's a friend, and she's also like my legal counsel
Okay.
for business things.
Okay.
What's your stylist name again?
Lana at Variation.
Lana. Thank you so much, Lana.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Now I forgot the question.
Girl, me too. Oh, how do you manage it all? I was like, I don't know.
I don't. I do. Sorry. I do. So I use Google Calendar. People can book consultations on my website. It automatically comes to my Google Calendar. So anytime it's like something booked or a meeting is scheduled in Google, period.
Yeah.
Also use a notebook. And here it is. Every day, if I have a appointment or consultation, that goes in this column, and then on this side I put down the things that I need to do.
Okay.
And then here's my important list of things to do that I did one thing. So lists are really important. I don't schedule time for painting. It just happens when it does, when I get time, because I'm still not, just being transparent, I'm not at a point where like I can consistently paint every day because I still have so many projects that I'm working on. I do have an engagement specialist. I have a virtual assistant that I just started working with, and then I have a copywriter that I just started working with added to my team. So that's my goal now, grow my team so that I can have the time freedom to do other things. And I'm okay. I'm great at a lot of things. I don't know how to say it. I can do a lot of things very well. I know people have superpowers in areas that they are better than me at. So that's my goal too. Like I want to hire people. Oh, that's your thing, and you're really great at it. Great. Yeah. Please do this, and I trust you to do a great job, and it's going to be awesome.
Yes.
So, I see myself in the very near future being able to say I schedule time.
Yes.
Thing, but to be honest, sometimes I just get to a point, and it's like I gotta paint, or I'm gonna go crazy, and I literally stop and have to paint.
Okay. I love that. That's kind of how my days go. Like every day is a little bit different. Every day, I'm like, this is important today, so I'm gonna work on this. But I do feel bad when I don't get to my creative things. Like I feel like the creative aspect of all of us is the core. It's part of our core things, and it's so many things to be responsible for on the day to day. Like your list for one thing, like accomplishing one task could have three to five tasks under it, and so it is frustrating when you can't get to the creative part and the core part. So I was just curious for myself, like how do you stick to the creative? But this is awesome. This has been wonderful. I'm so thankful that we scheduled this time. I'm so thankful that you joined me. I'm thankful that you're my friends. You're so wonderful. You're so knowledgeable. And you're just a really good person. And that just makes everything better. So, yes.
And I'm so grateful for you. Like, even our journey, and I was thinking about like we kind of did a lot. You know, we were I don't know if we got enough time to even get all into the stories, but we've done like interviews together.
Yes.
Tried to put together like this great huge event and business ideas and just like all the things. So I'm so grateful for you too. Like, yes.
Yes, we're truly partners in the creative realm for sure. So that's amazing. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna reach out to you to schedule more time with you to come back.
Yes.
Let me think. Is there anything that you want to say to everybody out there that's still watching?
What do I want to say? I guess just make sure, like how we just talking about how our schedules are so busy. Yeah. Always have that time during the day where you get refocused and reconnected. Have your 10 minutes, 20 minutes, however long, pull your journal out, pray, sit down and be quiet. Whatever it is you got to do, like it's so important to get grounded because everything we need is inside. I mean, that's been revealed to me a lot lately. Like I'll go and do research and do marketing or marketing research and see like, oh, like what's the hot posts people are doing now and stuff like that. It's like, no, when you really come from an authentic place and creating the things that you know are true to you and coming from the inside out, that's the stuff that really attracts the right people to you and gets the attention. Like the best post I guess I made, or the best marketing, is always like very specific and authentic.
Yes.
And the only way you can get that is if you go be quiet for a little while.
Absolutely, something that I have been working on in the past year. And also, be patient. I'm going to add to that. Be patient with yourself, the process, your brand, and the shifts in the digital world. Be patient with everything. Because that's definitely something that you need to stay grounded. So I'm going to read some of the comments. Lana says, refocus and reconnecting with self equals turn within. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Lexicon, the brand, our IGs, everybody, you can follow me at Lynn Solar. You can follow Rachael at Rosemint Media. And if you click on, I believe you can click on our profiles within this chat right now, or you can always visit my page or Rachel's page, and both of us have tagged each other on it. But yes, follow both of us. I will be back next week with another Tea Time with Lynn. One of my homies is joining. Stay tuned on my page for that. Got a rapper coming on.
Hey.
And let's see, So Touching. I'm glad you all enjoyed the facets of being an artist. So yes, thank you everybody for engaging with us. Thank you for joining. I hope you got something valuable from us. I know that you did, because I did. And we talked about mindset. We talked about digital marketing. We talked about being grounded. We talked about art things, creative things, and I just love it. So everybody be well. Enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your week. Happy Black History Month and Happy Black History Year, okay? We'll see you all. Oh, wait, one more thing. Make sure that you follow and you message Rachael for anything that you have in terms of the digital marketing and the creative realm of her expertise. And also lynn-solar.com for anything solar powered related. Thank you all. Thank you for joining. Rachael, I'm going to text you in a minute. Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Thanks, everybody, for joining.